And it's not just the fast food that we're uh, talking here. Now, obviously, other industries has to shift their strategies as well. And one of the such strategies is in the grocery chains in the United States. And obviously, the preference, as I mentioned earlier, has shifted dramatically. So people's preferences, whether buying online, eating at home, and so forth. So how do you get them to go out? Obviously, if you can guarantee or close to guarantee the safety of any individual visiting your stores or restaurants and so forth. So how can they do that? Now for grocery chains, they're trying to experiment with new technology. Obviously, the way to go is using better technology here. Okay, so the shift of online grocery is the first one, but it's not just the online grocery experience, but obviously people's preferences still would like to visit the store, right? Especially in particular buying products. Even during the pandemic, a lot of people still prefer to go to the stores and buy the physical product for whatever reasons. Now, could be we're used to it. It's a habit that's hard to break, and you get to choose the products that you want. You're comparing, you're looking at different products. So maybe we're not yet at that point that when you're buying online, one item at a time, it's easier, but you're trying to purchase a lot of items at the same time, it gets confusing. That's why the grocery experience is totally different from any other experiences when we buy items or products. So here's an example here. So how do they make the contactless technology? So we have an example here. So one grocery chain, Giant Eagle, is providing a checkoutless counter, which is, I think that's something that everyone should look forward to, and all grocery stores should be implementing, right? So how are they going to do that if they're going to, implement a checkout-less counter? Now, obviously, you have to incorporate technologies that can scan the products that's inside your cart, okay? Or like how Price Chopper is doing is you have an app, you install it in your mobile phone or any tablet, and then you scan the item, and then it automatically adds the item so you know how much to pay, and you can pay using your credit card or debit card and so forth. And then Wegmans is another grocery chain, is using self-checkout now. Now obviously self-checkout is you don't have to interact with a cashier anymore, so you can do this at your own leisure. And I think other countries are already implementing. I think Japan has done this before. So if you have a debit card of sorts, yeah, debit card, or I forgot, a Suica card, you can use that as well. Then once you swipe it, then it will deduct the amount that you have purchased. And I think that should be the trending moving forward. It's not just because of the pandemic, but it provides more convenience, because one of the main issues when you're going to a grocery stores is the long queue when about to pay for the products, right? Especially in SM, it's a terrible long line, as well as in Robinsons and just in any grocery stores, right? The queue for the cashier takes a really long time. Now, is there a way to reduce it? I think checkout-less counter is the best way to go. Now, obviously, you need better technology and the adoption of your consumers as well. I think Amazon had tried to implement this. I think that I saw one video before, I think on Linus Tech Tip, wherein he went to Seattle. I think it was an Amazon retail store, wherein he went in, he grabbed the product, and it automatically deducts it. So you can go out, swipe your card, swipe your QR code, I think, with your smartphone, then you can go out. So no one is checking on you, guarding the products there. So they trust the technology to do the job for you. So no matter what movements you're doing, so it has multiple cameras or infrared cameras all over the ceiling, so it's keeping track of all the people there. But obviously it's going to be costly if you're going to do this in a large scale scenario. So we have to wait and see. But the question here is, would other grocery stores implement this or adopt this new technology? Now obviously the technology is not going to be cheap. Obviously, whether it's checkoutless or using an app, or scan, you're going to invest heavily. Whether, especially, I think the push cart is another technology where it can scan automatically your items that you're buying, and going to cost millions or even tens of millions. Now, obviously, the big grocery chains can afford this, but how about the small grocery stores on the small scale or medium scale? Would they be inclined to do this? Now, obviously, some of them would be apprehensive, right? Because in terms of return on investment, takes longer and it's going to be costly. So why even pursue it? But obviously, at the end of the day, if you want to compete, especially now and with the trend of shifting, if you want people to come back and buy items at your store, you have to bring something or value to them that you can be comfortable going back to grocery shopping. I miss going to the grocery stores, doing the typical stuff, buying items. And if I don't have to fall in line, once I pick my items, I can push the cart outside, go to the parking lot, and then go home. And that would be the ideal scenario here. If those grocery stores can do that, I think that would be a big milestone here. All right?